Hello and welcome. That was my fancy toss, like I was pretending to be a jugglist, or juggler. Anyway, but welcome to Thursday morning's Facebook Live. I put the biggest fidget toy I could possibly think of right in front of me this morning. So you're all waking up and you've had your coffee and you're thinking, I should drive to Beehive Quilt Shop this morning. I should drive to Beehive. The storms don't matter. My husband won't care. Anyway, all that to be said, there's probably going to be some more rainstorms today. I don't really know what's happening, but this is summer in Kansas officially now, and it rains sometimes. So the turnpike is all the way back open, I believe. So far. Stay tuned later today. Watch the news. Don't watch all the news. Just watch the weather part of the news. Watching the whole news is just too depressing. And that's not what we're here for. So I did already drop it. But anyway, we have, it's a fun week. So this is the week before 4th of July. And it also happens to be the week that Melissa and I from Minnie have two different our Sew Together bag classes that sold out so quick. This is the week that they're here. I know we need to get some more scheduled because both of our classes plus our retreat for the bag is all full. And so that means we should do another one. But Minnie is just the best. And so I just wanted to show you this. This is our zipper tree. We have a special where you get 3 zippers for $5, and they are the little 14-inch zippers, and they're just great for bitsy boxes and tiny projects. But we have a whole rainbow of colors, and this current display lives back by the zipper wall on a little stand near our strapping. Oh, I know, that's what I was going to show people. We just got in like this many colors of strapping. They're cotton strapping. We went on I was going to bring that in today, and I bet I didn't. When we were gone at our family reunion, which by gone I meant like we were here half the time and we were at their retreat house half the time, but we got to make a whole bunch of projects that we don't usually give ourselves time for. And so we made some machine embroidered keychains on our embroidery machines, and we used strapping. I actually got to make my first keychain because I have heard people make a lot of them. I know that was our shop hop. Yes, here we go. Look at this. We have our own cake of strapping. It's just beautiful. So we had so much fun making keychains, and then of course I wanted to make more keychains, and then I realized how few keychain strappings we had sold, so many of them. So we just got restocked. These are all 1-inch cotton strapping colors, and it's very exciting. Of course, polyester ones you can also use, but my sister-in-law Lauren, who is the keychain queen, she prefers cotton because when you press it, when you cover them, it does not it doesn't like melt or bend or get as wet. It's just better. But the reason why, the bottom part of your keychain matters, even if you're going to cover this up with fabric, is because eventually you're going to be like my mom's keychains, and you're going to love the keychain so much that someone gave you, like you're going to wear it till it's raggedy, and then the cotton strapping will show through. So you might as well make cotton strapping that matches the fabric that you're covering your keychain with. We have all kinds of keychain kits, but we're actually running low on those, so I think we're going to make more. But it's just too much fun. But we love that. So these came in, which are rainbowed. More 1-inch strapping came in, which is of course rainbowed. And I'm gonna just move this right over there. That's like some strength to move that, but it's just fun. We had a lady call in yesterday about this. Anyway, that was like a run-on sentence. Anyway, we're restocked in zippers and strapping is the point of that. The quilt behind me is my mom's quilt. We had it a couple weeks ago. She finished this on our quilt retreat. But this is Cave Quilts in Wales, and this is I think it's called Checkerboard, is the name of this quilt, and Mom did a fantastic job with her color placement. She was just like a color visionary artist. She was auditioning fabrics, putting them together, putting them on the design wall. Like, she worked it, and you can tell because it is beautiful. So all that to be said, design walls are incredibly helpful, and following your color spirit and really honing your color, your vision is worth it. So this is going to be a quilt she's going to finish filling out her paperwork for, right, Mom? To put into the We Capital Quilt Show. So American Patchwork is a 2-day quilt show that is going to be in Wellington, Kansas here in like 2 more weeks. And so it's definitely going to be worth to drive down to go see our little quilt show. It's just going to be fun. I almost called it a little quilt shop, but we are not a little quilt shop. We are a big quilt shop. But anyway, somebody called in yesterday about this. This is called Garden Party, and this is a pre-cut laser fused garden party quilt. You could make this and put it into a quilt show, but this actually has Laura Heine's Garden Party pattern with the full-size layout guide. It has laser cut pre-fused applique for all 12 blocks and the general applique instruction sheet, like how to do that. All you need is you need background fabric and sashing fabric is still what you need to make this quilt a thing. So maybe we should make, ooh, a sneeze almost came through and I got it off. Anyway, this is the Garden Party. This is very fun. So we do have one of these kits. So if the lady does finish placing her order online, I'm going to need to order another one. So you can always try to beat her if you want to. But it's $317 and you don't have to make fabric choices except for the backing. And if it were me, I think I would do, I really love art gallery. We have some lovely art gallery pieces that would make some great backgrounds. That would be just a lot of fun. But back to the Sew Together bag. So the Sew Together bag, this is the pattern. If you have not heard of this, or you maybe were just now popping into your feed for the first time, we've had a number of people come into the shop for the first time, like that live in the Wichita area, and they said they saw our Facebook Live, and then that reminded them they needed to come. So in case that's you, you should come to Beehive Quilt Shop in Wellington, Kansas. But this is the Sew Together bag pattern. We are obsessed with this bag. We have our own interfacing kit for it. But this is my first one that I ever made. This is only like the second bag I had ever made in my life, because I had mainly made Bitsy boxes and like a tote that had no zippers, and it's no, anyway. But this is my very loved one. This is from Tula Pink's Curiouser and Curiouser collection of this teal. This is some of the garbly goop that's inside of my bag right now. I usually have this loaded to the max, but I recently was trying to organize some stuff and I took a bunch of things out of it, but it is amazing what this can hold. I'm a utilitarian quilter myself, so I do not worry about precision. A lot of people like bag making because it actually can be a little more forgiving than quilts. But if you can see here, I'm holding it up by this side because this did pop out of my binding here for my top stitching. I didn't make this quite as long as I should have because I was worried about something. I don't remember. But you know what? This bag works super well without this being attached, and I could always go back and put it together. But I love holding it like this or like this. So it's proof that it's fine and it's my bag and I can fix it whenever I want to. But anyway, it's just a lot of fun. So I had so much fun when I made that one that I made this other one like back to back super fast afterwards. And this one's been at the store for like, I think 4 years. And I finally took it home and I'm like starting to use it because I'm about ready to make like 6 more, which is perfectly reasonable because Desiree plans to do that and she hasn't even made her first one yet. But it's like, that's just, you will be successful because Melissa and I love this. She's made like 100. So Desiree and I just believe in ourselves here. But it's going to happen. So this one is, this was when Juicy Juice was with Andover Fabrics. I can't remember if we still have this in a wide back, but this was in a 44-inch fabric when I first got it. And I just started putting some pieces in it last night. So it's just fun, but I've got some applique projects that I'm working on. And I put the baby to bed last night and I almost went into my quilt room, but then I couldn't find my headphones. And like, I can't work in my quilt room late at night if I don't have headphones on. And I couldn't even find my big purple ones that I just had for my birthday that I brought to the quilt retreat. And I know they're in one of the like 85,000 bags that I felt like I used when I moved back home, which is what I felt like I did. It was like moving into my home all over again. But anyway, so what I did is I grabbed my Ziploc bag and my other Ziploc bag and my other bag, and I combined them together and I organized my applique raw edge stuff while I was watching a new TV show, and it felt really empowering as a mom of a baby to be able to use scissors on the couch because I have had to put away all my sharp objects, you know, with a newborn. And so this is the closest I've been to like doing stuff on the couch again, the quilting related. And I knew I could do it because I had my Sew Together bag with me, and I knew that I could put all my sharp objects, all of my stuff, and I could zip this in and it'd be super safe. And even if I forgot my bag on the couch, nobody would be at risk of poking themselves or anything. So this bag is also just wonderfully safe because it is made with foam. And it has so many different pockets. So it really was easy to get organized. So in one of my compartments, I have all of my gumdrop pieces that are pre-fused on all my scraps. And then I have my scissors, of course. And then in this hidey hole pocket, which is one of the 3 interior pockets, I put all these other ones where I'm tracing my templates onto my Steam Seam 2 so that they're ready for me to go back through my scrap bag and add these onto some more of my scrap. So my slick papers are safe in this very zippy bag. So it's just very functional. So this is floating in one of my other areas, but because of, it's very safe. But I have used these zippers I showed you at the beginning and then the zipper tree. That's what I've always used for the center part, but Melissa is all about using by Annie zippers for those interior pockets as well. So on one of my next ones, that's what I'm going to try to use. And so this is one of by Annie's zippers by the yard. This is a 4.5 zipper, and it comes with coordinating pulls, but Melissa is super fun and Minnie haha, and she is always combining different colors with different types of tape. So the black tape and the white tape come with these rainbow pre-wild ones anyway. So you can get these, but you can also buy the rainbow pulls buy it separately, and so you can add that to your tape. So I'm going to make one before Saturday that's using this tape with the other missing pulls just for fun to get that ready. But I've got a bunch of them cut out, and I thought I was going to bring that in to show you, but I didn't. So we had this lady who's taking our Sew Together bag class. She came in and she's like, I really want to make an Alice in Wonderland bag because my middle name is Alice. And so I thought that was a super cute idea. And I was like, I have the perfect amount of fabric. And I think we pulled like 24 bolts in like no time at all. We have a Cheshire Cat. We have Alice in Wonderland from Ruby Star from Cotton and Steel. We had some Alice in Wonderland Riley Blake fabric. We have all kinds of cute like teacup fabric. Like we pulled out all the stops. She grabbed a beautiful selection, but I went ahead and made this little 12 fat quarter pack that is Curiouser and Curiouser from Tula Pink, some pieces that we still had. And this would be a beautiful inspired Sew Together bag. So if I sent all of our people who have registered for the classes, but Minnie Haha has her own YouTube channel, and she has a 2-part tutorial that is incredibly well done on the Sew Together bag. So if you haven't watched it yet, definitely worth putting on. It's like I can't remember if it's like 50 minutes and 30 minutes, but they're totally worth it to watch them, even if you're going to come take our class, because it's going to help you visualize how the bag goes together ahead of time. And she really does a nice job. Like I'm here talking 50,000 miles a minute. Melissa does a nice job of talking at a normal pace, and that it's easy to understand what she's saying. And she does a great job of explaining why she likes certain things over other elements. And so I learned a lot from watching her videos. And she's made like a ton of these. So she really is a pro on these Sew Together bags. But that being said, Melissa explains in her videos that you can use up to 10 different fabrics. When you buy the pattern, it doesn't tell you need 10 fabrics. It gives you like very minimal fabric requirements, but it says be as scrappy as you want. So if you want yours to be as scrappy as possible, there's at least 10 different fabric choices that you can bring. So a 12 pack quarter pack of fabrics gives you just enough to have a big variety and to have the match. So it's perfect for us because we have so many different 12 fat quarter packs that are custom that we have pulled together, but we have made a couple up just in honor of this Sew Together bag wave that's happening, because it's just a lot of fun. And I usually pride myself on being super scrappy, and I noticed that like I made mine like very coordinated for me. So like this is black, my butterflies are all black, and then the one scrappy thing I really did is that the insides of these pockets, this fabric is sold out by the way, is her Tula Pink ladybugs, but that piece was an ombre. So like this one is the green teal version. This is the yellow orange. And then this pocket has the orange pink. And so even though it was the same fabric, because it was an ombre, it looked way more specialized. But I was fun, and I put this rainbow rose, but on the inside is like this Tula Pink from Curiouser and Curiouser. You know, so there's just lots of, you can have as much fun with it as you want to. So that being said, those are 2 different pieces, and you're just going to have a lot of fun making it. But no matter how yours turns out, it's going to be one of the most functional things I think you can make yourself. But it's just terrific. So I really, really love it. So one of the things that we made up just in the last couple of days is this, I think we called it Champagne Beach, Champagne Vacation, something with lobsters. I'll have to figure out because we did change the name a couple times, which we don't usually do. But mom had wanted to name it and I wanted to make it, and then I wanted to rechange my name, but combine moms, I don't remember. But really just type in champagne on our website because I know champagne, I left that in the title. But this is like super beachy, so it's a lot of fun. So there's this watercolor, oh my gosh, what's this called? Like a watercolor coral reef. We have this and this is fabulous. It's from Art Gallery. Champagne Vacation. So it's called Champagne Vacation, but I think this would make a super cute beach themed sew together bag. I'm sure you can have other things, but this has champagne and lobsters, and a jar of figs. It's just beautiful. This is some beautiful sand dollars on a peachy background. This one is a really fun print, but this would make a great pocket lining, but it's got little seashells, kind of going in a stripe. And what I think is cool about this is, like how the beach waves, and then the tides, and they come in and certain things get collected at certain lines because of the tides. And I think that fabric looks just like that. Sardines. It's just, sardines are fun. Sardines are super in right now. The most classic food ever, but amongst health crazed people, they're realizing how sardines really are one of the best superfoods and how much the fat protein mineral balance is. And there's even a thing called a sardine fast. So if you want to go down a rabbit hole, I give you that as a gift. Again, here we go, champagne lobster, but this is just super fun, would make a great pocket or a mini outline. This I just think is the cutest fabric, and we got a lot of these pieces we really have purchased so that we can finally make our Stay Salty margarita glass collage. But I just saw it on the collage shelf and I was like, you know what? I know I can steal fabric off of here and make some sew together bag fat quarter kits before I make that collage. But this beach would be just so fun to have either as a pocket lining or the outside. But I do love a dark outside because I am just constantly taking my bag with me in different places. But this is kind of a fun Hawaiian flower. This one would be another spectacular pocket lining. This is another Art Gallery piece. We have two different seashells. These are actually by two different companies, but the scale is just perfect. So both of those are in here. This would make a spectacular outside as well. It's just very beachy. And then mermaids, because we need more mermaids. So the mermaids are just super fun. And again, this would make a beautiful outside. It would make a beautiful inner pocket. It would just be spectacular. But Champagne Vacation is the name of that 12 fat quarter bundle. And it would be so fun as a sew together bag. Like you can just see it. You can see it now, right? You can see the vision. I think it would be totally worth it. So speaking of the beach, I have a class coming up in July, which we're almost done with June, which just seems unreal. But this is my sea glass project. This is one of the things that I have my pieces of in the sew together bag. I must bind this before the show because this is one of my art quilt is the category I'm putting this in. So I must bind it. And I've been dreaming of putting pom-poms on it. So like right after this video, I'm going to go to our pom-poms and I'm going to go figure out which color I'm going to put on my piece here so I can actually get it done because I've had too many excuses and my time has run out. I must make a decision. But anyway, that sea glass template, we have two separate templates that you can get for the class. You don't need both, just pick one. I truly like this size the best, but this is our sea glass template to make those shapes, and this is the big one. So whichever one you prefer, but our laser guy that makes these up for us, you do get all the blanks, you get all the cutouts, and they have been handy for fussy cutting some certain pieces. This is also something like I've involved my daughter Stella helping me to make more of these shapes because it's just very fun. But these templates are meant to be traced so that you can trace it on whatever fusible of your preference. I still prefer Seam Seam 2, but I do want to experiment and use a couple other ones. So I grabbed... Oh, maybe I grabbed the wrong set. But anyway, this is all still useful stuff. But there are a number of printable fusibles that you can put through your printer and make a copy. I do not have a traceable like sheet that you can just upload and print out the shapes. I might do that, but really that defeats the purpose of getting the templates. So I really think you should get the templates and make your own master copy of how you want to copy it. And then you can run it through your printer or go to the library. But this is a Flexi Fuse. This is a lighter weight, very fine spiderweb fusible. That would work really great, I think, still for this project, but it would be very lightweight. And then this is Print and Piece Fuse Light. I really like the one on a roll of this. It's we have it here at by the yard, but I think I've really thought about doing something more with this because this almost feels like you have a tiny bit of batting under your project. So it's like the closest thing to Trapunto that is not Trapunto. So this one is Print and Piece Fuse Light. Anyway, it's just but it's a non-woven fusible, but it's fusible, and that's the whole point. This one is totally separate, but I grabbed it anyway, but this is printable. This is really if you're going to do, like, you want to do hand embroidery on your denim, and you have like a line drawing of a bird, and you want to print it on this, and you're actually going to iron this onto your, or stick it onto your, denim, and then you're going to hand embroider, and then it will wash out. And that's what this is too. This is a fabric solvy self-adhesive. Anyway, it's a thing. And then this is applique paper, but this has just to do with Roberta. So not exactly for my class, but this is very helpful for if you are doing Roberta's applique project. You'll know if you're one of those people. We should make a whole show. We should have them all come in and show us what they've been working on because it's been spectacular. But that being said, you can sign up. There's a few open spots that are left. I need to get another one on the calendar, but for now, I think it's like July 16th, I think is when this one is. Other classes that have recently gotten posted is my sister-in-law, Lauren, is just super talented, and she just makes stuff happen. She has just finished these 2 bows. This is the giant bow pattern, and it is just spectacular. She did this during our family retreat thing, and she just like whipped this out no problem, super fast. She machine quilted it with like nobody's business. She quilted it. She used scrap batting. This is the Tilda bow. We have fabric kits for this. It's like $34.99, and you get all of these beautiful pieces that she pulled together. Brie is one of the collections, and so that is her backing fabric because these can be double-sided bows if you want to. And then she just made this patriotic one, which I think is also exceptional. This one she quilted a little less dense, but it also it still looks like this one she quilted, I don't know if you can tell, she quilted this one like a ton, and it's gorgeous. This one is quilted a beautiful amount, and it's also gorgeous. So we happen to have fabric kits for both of these versions, and we have made the Tilda Something Blue bow kit. So we have both of those. They're getting packaged up officially tomorrow, but if you came in today and you wanted one, we would put it in a package for you. Our best folding team comes in on Fridays. So that's just that being said, but you can sign up for Lauren's class. I think it's on, what is it? I left up the calendar. It is on the 13th of July. So that's the Monday after, it's the Monday after Wheat Festival, which that's our local town festival. But anyway, if the giant quilted bow, this is going to be very satisfying to make. Highly encourage you. Lauren she's great. So I would recommend it. Another class that we have coming up is our new machine quilting expert for doing machine embroidery quilting, ruler quilting, and free motion quilting. So 3 different types of quilting. Dee is she's amazing. So this is a little project using the Sew Steady ruler system, which a lot of people have looked at purchasing. A ton of people have purchased. But this is a great quilt as you go way to master several different rulers and techniques. And so Dee is an extra wonderful teacher. These classes is Introduction to Quilting with Sew Steady Rulers. So this is on Thursday, July 23rd, and Saturday, July 25th is when both of these classes are scheduled. There is going to be some more advanced classes that she's teaching, so you're definitely going to want to take one of those classes so that you are prepared for the more involved projects, because they're really not complicated, but this is going to give you that confidence to keep doing more with those Sew Steady rulers. So if you're like my mom and you have been dreaming of learning how ruler foot quilting, mastering really how does it work. Dee is just, she's so patient. She's so wonderful. This is a little project that Dee has also invented. This is using several different Sew Steady templates. I think this is going to be in her 2-day class, but this is a little ruler wrap. She just whipped up this little pattern here. It's got a tie, and you can actually put your rulers, some other projects in when you go to different classes or retreats. It's got some pockets, but it's all quilted, and it just is super nice. But it's a great way to learn. So the class description, it's got all the stuff in there, how much fabric you need, but really you just need the gumption to want to learn how to do this, and Dee is just spectacular. So she taught her, I think, first class for us this past Tuesday, and it went wonderful. So that's great. But she also is going to be teaching some other classes. Let's see, I can't remember if this is a touchscreen. It is. So in August, yes, in August there is Wednesday, August 5th, she is teaching these Angela Walters free motion ruler quilting with dot to dot. And these are these panels that are like this. And so they are pre-printed from Angela, who is also a designer of Creative Grids rulers for free motion quilting. It's a little different than ruler work of Sew Steady. We have sold a ton of these rulers over the years, and you can just experiment on your own. But she is just a gifted, Dee is just a gifted teacher. So you're going to get, you'll buy one of these cheater cloth panels, and you'll be able to do free motion ruler quilting with Dee. One of the neat things about how Dee teaches is she really wants you to experiment and try a lot of things out. So you don't have to buy, a ton of rulers before you take this class. She brings her ruler stash there to the class, and you are going to be able to experiment and try out several different types of rulers before you make any purchasing decisions. And then I think this one, oh, this is her machine embroidery quilt. This is cool. So this is done with an embroidery machine, doing edge-to-edge quilting, and the name of the lady just escaped me, but she taught that class on Tuesday, and she'll be teaching it again. But this is quilted with an embroidery machine, and it was great. It was great. So that's just wonderful. We're piling up those quilts. So signing up for the bow class, Dee's free motion classes, my sea glass raw edge applique shenanigans, and we're going to put that up on top. Okay, here we go. Here is the Tilda bow kit. So this is how beautiful it is. It's just marvelous. It's just very gorgeous. So scoop one of those up. Still time, plenty of time to whip one. That would be so fun for a kid to make for the fair. I really think a kid could make one of those for the 4-H fair, and it would work out spectacular. We also have a retreat coming up. It's really kind of like an open retreat, but with a really exceptional teacher. But Eileen Urbanik has a retreat coming up, and it's like Stump Eileen. You can do a hexie panel project. You can do foundation paper piecing. I think I might just change the image to this book nerd quilt. Just for people, but this has been one of the hottest patterns we've been selling in the last couple months. We've had it for years, but my goodness, it's just flying off the shelf. Mary Jane's Book Nerd quilt is on display, and it's gorgeous. But Book Nerd is makeable as a foundation paper piece project, or you can buy the templates to regular piece this. And we have a number of kits to make that happen, and we have some great book-themed fabric so that you can make it either way. We also have, Mom wanted me to share, there she came down from the stairs, but we have this fun template called New York Beauty, which just makes me think of it. She tried to, I don't even know what she tried to do. She tried to sneak past us. You can't sneak here at Beehive Quilt Shop because we have floors that are from 1910. They are maple, and they talk when you walk. They just do. But this is called New York Beauties, and this is a fun patriotic bundle. It has some glitter grunge inside of it, but it is going to be wonderful for making an exploding heart patriotic quilt. So someone scooped up one of these bundles. It's just an inspiration bundle with background fabric, but she is going to make the exploding heart patriotic quilt out of that. So I thought that was a great time, and it's called New York Beauty, which is fun. We've also rekitted a quilt that's in our window display. That's also on my list today to finish this cover sheet, but this is a beautiful lap-sized quilt that is patriotic themed, and it even comes with the specialty ruler that is no longer out of print, but I was wise enough to buy a lot of them. But I only have these certain amounts, so they had to go in the kits. There's only like 4 ones that a normal person could buy. But this is going to be another great patriotic. We're going to make Tuesday Treasures next week be patriotic. It's going to be great. When we were setting it for the live, I also got real inspired with this. This is, it's hard to work at a quilt shop. Like, we should make a video sometime, and it should be like, it is so hard working at a quilt shop because you see so many ideas and you only have so much time. And then you see all these people that have beautiful taste and they're buying all this fabric and these patterns. And then you have to work at a quilt shop. It's just a thing. And it's just, I wanted to make this pattern so bad. I still want to make this pattern so bad. But the closest thing I can get to making this pattern up right away is getting one of you guys to make it up right away and bring it to me made up so I can see if it really turned out as cute as I think it. I know it will. All that to be said, I'm very dramatic. I'm sorry. But this is from Susan Quilts, one of our favorite designers. But this is a teeny tiny Dresden project. So this uses 2 different of her rulers. It uses the tiny Dresden plate template, and it uses the tiny tree template set. They're wonderful, but it's just so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Another 12 days. Oh, she even has this as a block of the month. Maybe we should do this as a block of the month. This is a chronic thought. Should we do this as a block of the month and we'd make it happen? Oh, it would be so cute. Should we make it as a block of the month? Please tell us if we should, because then we could go rogue and it would be really fun as a block of the month. So you should tell us that we have to. You should email us and say, Connie, please make Anna Rose and Desiree make this as a block of the month, because I'm not going to do it unless you make them do it as a block of the month. And you're getting hearts. Yay. So look at Mom now. She's like paying attention to what you're saying to email me.
What are you talking about?
Oh, look, see, I got Mom to come in on the live. Did you see that trick? Did you see that trick? This.
Yeah, that does look fun.
Right. I just look at it all the time and I just dream about it. I dream about it.
Well, it'd be fun in so many different fabrics.
I know. I didn't even have plans to like guilt you into this ahead of time. Sometimes as a child you premeditate how you will motivate your parents to do something.
This just looks like you all over.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like we should do this.
Yes, please. I will order.
Yes, please. I'll order.
I
Okay.
would love a block of the month class for this.
See, we could. Is July too soon to start? What day of the week should we do it? Please comment.
Well,
tell
we could
us.
do it kind of as
When
an
should we do
online
it?
thing, because it really doesn't. Looks like it'd just be more fun as a group to see it, kind of like.
But
a
it's
dash challenge.
23 by 27, 29 by 33. 33 is my lucky number. I feel like we have to do it now. It's 33 inches long.
Well, how about this? You can talk about it the next time. What you come up
It's
with.
so great. It's so great. Anyway, but I had a premeditated thought though, because I think this would be, I keep this by Tilda, and I think, look at these 2 little bundles.
Oh, sure.
Wouldn't they make a great, wouldn't that be great? It'd be great. So, we could do a Tilda version. We could do a Tula version. I don't really know how I would do this in Cave. That could be a fun challenge. It'd be,
Well, maybe you could have
I
a
don't
fun
know.
border. I don't know.
That's pretty fun. So please, but do let us know, are Tuesdays your
What is
favorite
it
day of the
called?
week, or when another 12 days?
Oh, we're also getting please do an online version, so we can follow along. Can we do an
Yes.
online group?
Yeah.
Yes, we can do a Facebook group, and what we've done in the past, because it's been over a year since I think we've done a block of the month, but we would record special content and send out a YouTube link, which is pretty great.
Yeah, because I think this would be really nice, because there's really only a few blocks, and that part of it'd be the technique and just the fun of.
Yeah, and it
sewing
uses
along
a
with someone.
tiny Dresden and a little, and you could make these improv, or you could make them organized trees.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could totally teach you how to make that improv. I think we've made a decision here, people, but we need you to still go ahead and email Mom. Say, please make Anna Rose have whatever time she needs.
They don't have to email.
do-
That sounds complicated.
Okay, don't
They
email
just
us. Don't
comment.
email
Just
us.
comment.
Just comment.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's fine.
And
If they
tag your
want to, they
friends
can
in.
email.
Tag your friends. This would be a cute little project. Okay,
But
I'm done
here-
talking about it. I'm talking about it
Sure.
too much.
Well, this is going
Putting
to
aside-
Washington. This is
Oh,
just kind
someone
of-
watched our Tuesday live.
Yeah, so someone ordered a set of 4 of these fun selvages. Look at all these.
Yeah, which
I'm gonna
really
send
means
her a
they have
variety.
8, because each bundle has 2.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and then this is Cafe along with a little Tula. This is a green blue version. along with
I love it. I
kind
love
of
it.
rainbow. And then because every quilt needs a little bit of white, I also put one of her really soft pinks and greens along with this other colorway. Anyway,
Beautiful, beautiful choices
and
there,
then
Mom.
she
Oh, and she
that.
ordered my I'm So Fancy license tag.
Yeah,
Aw,
so
this
that's
you have
fun.
great taste, whoever you
And
are.
then, so I thought maybe they'd be next to our little combine, but this is a little collectible
These,
piece of
I'm pretty
fabric.
sure, are in a drawer up at the front.
Okay, so we'll look for that. But I just thought tell people, because I'm guessing this I'm So Fancy says Beehive on it, right?
It does say Beehive Quilt Shop.
Anyway, I was going to show you the real version, but I haven't located it in our shop because that's one of the fun things when somebody places an order. We get to find all the fun things. So
Yes, it's
I'm
like a
off on my
special hit. Again, it's so hard to work at a quilt shop. You just get so much dopamine helping other people find their shop. So please place an online order because it is very fun to help you. I've been waiting to show this. I don't know why I'm waiting on it because it's just too cool. But Peggy made this amazing bullseye quilt. So this is another obsession I've had mentally in my head. I've made so many bullseye quilts. But this is a raw edge applique type of quilt called a bullseye. You can find tons of patterns for them online, but it is something where you raw edge applique like a generous 1/4 of an inch because you want these to fray. And this was cut using some AccuQuilt dies, which was pretty spectacular. But I just think it is super cool. It's not even that heavy. Peggy, of course, did an exceptional job. She even pressed her seams back here open. But I just think that looks super cheerful. But I oftentimes get to help people load up their sewing machines or unload them. So I like to say I did see a lot of trunk quilts that you keep in the trunk for that time you're going to impulsively go on a picnic or that you have to walk in the rain, which has gotten even rainier looking since we've started this live. But anyway, Peggy made my dreams come true, and she made this little patriotic sample. This could make a good little bench pillow, but Sheridan had it was like very Kansas Troubles with pops of color bullseye quilt in her trunk one time when I helped her load up, and it was just like, I couldn't get that quilt out of my head. I don't know what that is called, but I had a chronic version of that because it's like 6 years later, and I'm thinking about it. But this, again, was cut with AccuQuilt dies, which we're a big AccuQuilt dealer. But we also sell these really cool Creative Grids circle template sets. And so this would also be perfect to cut up some of your stash into circles and to get prepared and just make some bullseye quilts. This, again, would also be fun, I think, for a kiddo to make up because it's very forgiving. You want it to be raw edged. And here we go. Here's Mom.
Oh, I'm just going to show you real quick. There's I'm So Fancy. So we found all the rest of them.
Yes.
So
Was I
anyone that
right? Was
wants
it in
them,
a drawer?
They're so cute.
Was it in a drawer?
$1.50, yes. But they're so cute. Anyway.
And the pictures online and everything. And that's another thing. We've never made the I'm So Fancy t-shirts. So let me know if you want an I'm So Fancy t-shirt because that was like a saying that we did a bunch back when the row by row was a thing. That was like my favorite quilty pun. So all that being said, bullseye quilts, circle templates, just pre-telling you, we're going to be talking about that. This also, we got these LDH scissors in, which I'm pretty sure this is what Melissa Minnie was telling me is so amazing. And these are the pinking shears, but these are actually scalloped pinking shears. But I have been watching lots of Etsy people online, and they just make all these cute things with pinking shears. And they make like crinkle alphabet letters for kids to play with. And they are cut with, look at this nice packaging. Look at these people, these LDH people, they care. It's just a nice box, a box full of brilliance. I'm gonna open this pair up. This is called Midnight Edition. But this is, I think, the type of scissor that she cuts her quilts up with. But this,
nice weight to them.
can you hear this? Like it is, like, did you get to scissor it? I don't know what it's called when you test out a scissor. It's beautiful.
Very, very smooth.
So well, gotta double check it, but I'm pretty sure this is what she cuts through the quilts with because I typically have used Perfect Scissors a ton when I want a sharp pair of scissors and like when I'm doing my applique projects I showed you about earlier. But
those are good for bulk.
Yes, bulk. So if you're going to be cutting up some vintage cutter quilts or different projects, these LDH ones.
I mean, they're good for anything.
Yes.
Like great.
Good. This is just a good handle. That was a good scissor. That was a good experience. And they were started in 1990. That was me too. I started in 1990. Anyway, so there you go. Those are some new scissors. These are also, oh, this is their curved scissors. My mom loves a bent blade. These curved scissors, they poke out like that. It's really good for trimming loose threads off the back of your quilt before you take it to the long armor. But it's just helpful for snipping threads.
There's some snips in there somewhere. There's a little
Yeah.
box.
Here we
And
go.
they're just, I
There's
did play
another
with
pair of
those,
something too.
and those are really, really great.
Prism. One, oh, these are thread snips.
Yes.
There's a, anyway, these are like, well, snips look like that.
Oh wait, no, there's a whole nother.
I said that I think there is a whole nother small scissor. I just, I do really great at making a mess.
Talk and I'll go find it.
Oh, here they are. They're right here.
No,
Oh,
still yet another
there's
thing.
yet another one. Well, these are super cute. These are in their own little felty thing. These are $15. These are called Imperial scissors. They're 3.5. But just look at this. They're beautiful. They're beautiful. They look super vintagey. Potential spam is calling me. I'm going to silence that. Oh, this is a nice scissor. This just looks like, I don't know. I need to go move to England. Like I'm going to be a fancy lady and move to England.
Looks like I'm
Maybe
sitting,
I'll
like,
sleep on Cave and Brandon's front
sitting on a
porch.
beautiful like backyard or park bench, and I'm just gonna work
Oh.
on some like.
And I'm going to listen to Pride and Prejudice and be
Yes.
like real
Now
extra with my
these-
hot. Oh, those are beautiful.
So my mother-in-law has a
Oh, look at
pair
this.
that are this shape, this
Mm.
style, that are, I think they were in the family, so they're handed down scissors, but they work amazing.
So this is like an heirloom scissor shape.
Yes.
Hmm.
And so if you're right-handed, this is how you use them. And because, I don't know how well you can see it, but if you're right-handed, the pressure of this hand and your thumb is what pushes the blades together. And
Mm.
but they have a little spring in there too, so they're very, very well springy.
Yeah.
But
they're-
I've
but they're
not been able
beautiful.
to find a pair like hers.
They match your glasses super well.
Thank you.
Des has a new magic trick.
Oh yes, you want to see my new glasses?
I do.
Here we
I
go.
mean, I want them to see.
I can be just, these are my everyday glasses, but if I want to be fun, I can pop on a new frame and just have fun with it.
I love it. They
So
really are
it's a really
fun.
fun thing. And I also have a pair of sunglasses that pop on too. So that's
Oh,
really
that's
nice.
great. That's great.
But anyway, these I've not been able to find a pair that work like hers because they're like plasticky, or the spring, it just doesn't look, it looks too gimmicky. I don't know how to
Oh,
say, you
yeah,
know,
yeah. Well,
And
it looks cheap
these-
probably.
feel nice. They work nice. Like these are the closest
Hmm.
that I have ever seen to
That's
what she
neat.
has.
So it's got a safety red little
and it
tip
does
there.
come with a little travel
Okay.
safety.
That's good.
But
Oh,
they
neat.
are really great to keep by your sewing machine and do your your little
Yeah.
snips.
Yeah.
Or if you chain piece. You know,
Yes.
I chain piece,
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's why I love snips.
Oh, that's terrific.
Anyway, there you
Oh,
go.
those are great. But yeah, so we just, sometimes you just need a new scissor, Sure, you may have a lot of fabric, but you need new scissors. You just do. And if you are a nerd or a food nerd, or your husband is, I don't know. But my husband and I watched, Alton Brown has his own YouTube channel. Again, he's like started to make content from his previous Food Network life. And I think it's called Alton Brown Cooks. I think is what it's called. Cooks Food. I think it's called Alton Brown Cooks Food. But Phil found this one where he goes into this deep dive about knives. It's like 50 minutes long, and that's part of what I think I had the baby still at that point. But then I went through and I watched a trashy show when I was doing this. It's not really trashy. It's good. It's good. But anyway, the moral of the story is Alton Brown has one all about knives. And he did such a nice job. And it's like, I feel like we should make one like how Alton Brown makes one, but we should do it on quilting. But he probably has a team of like 85 people making his produced content. I don't know. But it was inspiring. So if you like kitchen knives and you like scissors and sharp objects, I highly recommend Alton Brown Cooks Foods and find his knife episode because it's worth it. We learned so much. So all that being said, this is the newest complete fabric line that we got in. This is Kimberbell's line that is called Sippin' on Sunshine. And even though we are currently sipping on rain clouds out of a fancy straw, this is her super cheerful new line of fabric. And it is very cutesy, great cheater cloth, just super beautiful fruit themed things. And it has this really fun piece. It's a cheater cloth. It is called Color Block block party, not sipping on sunshine, but I think it works perfect with Kimberbell. So all that being said, I've had a great show, and I'm very excited about it. And together we have brainstormed maybe our new block of the month. So I do look forward to figuring out how we're going to do that. So all that being said is you still really could email us and tell us if there is a certain time of day or if you would be a virtual person, because that's just going to help us figure out our class planning purposes, or we can send you a survey about times. But I'm very excited about that, because you could also tell us if you wanted it as a 6-month block of the month, or if you wanted to go from summer to summer, if you want to do it through Christmas. I don't know. We just have ideas. We have options. So thank you for watching. I hope you sign up for some of these classes, and of course buy lots of fabric. Remember, even if you're not going on a champagne vacation, you can have a champagne vacation by buying this 12 fat quarter bundle to make a great sew together bag. If you want to go on a health rabbit hole, look up sardine fast, and we'll explain why we have sardine fabric here at the shop. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.